All right, so back from that quick little pause. Actually, I'm going to clean that grease up. I don't want any grease on anything. Probably shouldn't be. I should probably get a second tech mat for stuff that you don't want grease on. Yeah, I probably should, but I'm not because I like this tech mat. So we know that if this one here is going to be a pain, so I'll do that one last. Here we have the hinge. It looks like, yeah, okay, so this guy just slides off. So that works for me. That's easy peasy. Like I said, there's probably somebody out there that already has a video, and if you do, awesome, kudos. But I didn't see one, and so I'm going to do this one for the guys that have subscribed to my channel. Turn that around here. Grab it with the needle nose. And push in really hard and pull. You want to pull it straight. So you don't want to bend it. You want to pull it straight. This guy here is being a little more obstinate. Alright, so we got it off. We didn't bend it. We're good. Put that guy down. Carefully push it out. We don't want any nicks. We know we're going to fill this with cotton from a Q-tip. Alright, take these guys here. Put this in the sandwich bag. Alright, next, now we have this lens. I personally don't want to mask the lens. I'm not a fan of masking lenses. Canopies for airplanes is fine, but masking lenses, no. So, here we go. Once again, this is the trial and error. Does it do it? I don't know. Can we do this without goofing anything up? Let's see. These guys come out pretty easy peasy. Solder. Somebody was soldering yesterday. Alright. Now these screws here, not particularly happy with, because these are called coarse thread screws. The downside to coarse thread screws is companies use them so that they don't have to have, all they have to do to get a screw into a piece, particularly like a soft piece of plastic. Airsoft companies do this with gearboxes, soft gearboxes. That's how you can tell the quality of your gearbox too, is if they have coarse thread screws, okay, like this here, these guys here. Another example of a coarse thread screw from an airsoft box is this guy here. I don't know if you can also see it, but it has a cut in here like a drill bit. These are self-tapping or self-drilling. If you see these in your gearbox, sorry, but that's a low quality gearbox. Yeah, it just is a low quality gearbox. What they did here with the GoPro is they did that here because you either have two steps. You have the casting step, and you can cast it with the holes in it, and then you use these coarse threads, self-drilling or coarse thread screws, right? You can use those to, okay, so that's not too bad. That's the lens. I'm going to put the lens in a separate bag. I'm going to put that stuff in a separate bag, and then I'm going to clean this up. But they would drill it, then they would tap it. If they tap it, that means they want to make sure and make it actually serviceable. Somebody will probably say, how do you know that? Well, you know, I get mad at me. That's just my opinion then. But I really look at it. The more the work you put into something so it can be taken apart and used later, definitely means that you want to keep it serviceable. Okay? Yeah, you definitely want to make the piece so it can be serviced. This here, you have the gasket back there on the lens. This piece here gets tightened down, holds down on the lens. I might have goofed the waterproofing on this. Well, if I did, I did. The other side to this is that I'm never going to take this thing scuba diving. Yeah, it's that simple. I'm not diving anytime soon, but I'm not going to lie, I wish I was. God, I miss diving. Diving is a blast. If you guys ever get a chance, definitely go scuba diving. It's definitely worth it. If you have a cruise, go on a vacation. My wife and I did on our honeymoon. It was awesome. This guy here is going, looks like this one here is going to be a little different. I can't get in there with a tool. That sucks. In all honesty. I can't get in there with a tool. So, what am I going to do? I'm not sure. I could persist, but I don't want to scratch that. I don't want to put in, I don't want any scratches, and I don't feel these picks here are strong enough to actually pop that off. And then if I go to get it on, it might be just as hard, but you know what? Yeah, this is actually recessed a lot more than this one. Okay, so here's another thing if you want to notice. This guy here is recessed. This has a recess. This one here is flush. There's no recess. So that's the same with the back one. So actually, however they did this, big fat kudos. Let's see if I can get this now. I do not think that I will, or that it will be safe for me to get this guy off. Okay? So, there you have it. What I can do with this, I'm going to put this, I'm going to mask over this, I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to use the razor to trim this around here so I make sure I get a good seal with the gasket. Okay? Yes, I like that. Take this lens out carefully, drop it back on. So that's the gasket. This is where it gets pulled in. Oh. Okay, try not to touch the back of it. Cool. So, clean this up. I have this to mask, I have this to mask, and this to mask. So, yeah. So I'm going to go mask those parts, and I shall be back. Awesome. See you guys for the painting after I get this stuff masked.